The reframe gives you the goal, and then the challenge is how you actually get there. The reframe is in your intelligence, in your intellect. So it's something that you see that's appealing. But then the challenge is when you actually do it, the actual embracing of it. So you want a reframe that does serve up something that you can then take practical steps towards getting. Like, okay, so if I was really developing this ability to uncover what's likable in this person, okay, well then maybe that means asking more questions. Maybe it means being just more solicitous to make sure that they're comfortable, or whatever it might be. So the idea is that the reframe sets up the challenge. Behavioral therapy for anxiety disorders, in the beginning was pure challenge with no reframe. It's like, just if you're afraid of heights, go on the balcony. You're afraid of contamination, put your hand into that stool or whatever the gross thing was. So there's always these things where it was just pure challenge, which for anxiety, it does work. It's painful and it's more painful than it needs to be. If you add a reframe to this, in fact, it is way easier, and then mindfulness makes it easier as well. So I think that you could conceive of a person, just trying to challenge themselves, but I don't, in most cases, where it's not just simply facing something we're afraid of, the challenge is going to be subtle enough that you really do have to think about it in advance. And you have to think of the way that you want to grow that actually is appealing to you. What happens then is that you get this wave of motivation that comes. It's the swinging into the dopamine system. Once you've identified an appealing trajectory that you want to grow on, and you can see how this fits into it, now you've made it way easier for you to actually embrace the challenge when the time comes. So you've laid down the necessary groundwork. So I think that things will be challenging, like say that dinner with a difficult person. Let's just say it is going to be challenging. And one thing just to show up and to be ready for challenge. But it's another to have done the work of reframing in advance, so that now you actually are eager to be practicing and to see how this goes. So I think that's the goal of the reframe, because it changes the mindset. It looks for ways of getting into a growth mindset, and it gets us ready to embrace the challenge. And it actually makes the challenge much easier to embrace.